Your cat is sleeping next to you right now, or it was last night, or it will be tonight. Same spot, same proximity, same quiet presence at the edge of the bed, or on the pillow beside you, or curled at your feet. It's not there for comfort. DNA just explained what it's actually doing. The warmth was available somewhere else: the radiator, the couch, the cushion in the hallway. Your cat has access to every warm surface in your home. It chose your presence specifically. And the reason, documented in the genome, is not the one you assumed. It is something older, something that runs automatically, something your cat cannot turn off even in sleep. It is not resting near you, it is working. While you sleep, here is what the genome reveals about why your cat sleeps where it sleeps. The domestic cat carries a modification to the fear conditioning system, specifically the pathway that processes familiar individuals. In the presence of the individual it has registered as chosen, this pathway produces a measurably lower stress response. The environment reads as safer. The threat level calculates as lower. The nervous system is permitted to do something it almost never does in the wild: fully rest. Your presence is the signal that makes deep sleep neurologically possible for your cat. Not warmth, not habit. Your specific identity, registered in its modified social memory system, is the environmental variable that tells its nervous system. The perimeter is known. The individual on watch is the chosen one. Rest is permitted. Your cat cannot sleep this deeply anywhere else, because you are not anywhere else. In the wild, the African wildcat, the genetic ancestor of every domestic cat alive today, never fully disengages during sleep. One hemisphere of the brain remains partially active, monitoring sound, scent, vibration. The ears rotate even during apparent rest. Full, deep sleep in a wild environment is a vulnerability that could be fatal. The domestic cat retains this architecture almost entirely intact. The 98% wild brain does not switch off its vigilance systems because it moved indoors. What changed, what the genome documents, is one specific modification: the ability to use the presence of a chosen individual as a substitute for active monitoring. Your cat is not sleeping despite its vigilance. It has delegated that vigilance to you. And delegating is only possible because the genome built a system for trusting one specific individual with that function. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. That number sounds like luxury. It is not. It is the recovery requirement of a predatory system that operates in short, intensely energetic bursts. The hunt, the sprint, the precise muscular coordination of the pounce. All of it demands neurological recovery time that is disproportionate to the duration of the activity. Cats sleep long because their active periods are physiologically expensive. But within those 16 hours, the proportion of deep sleep, the phase of genuine neurological restoration, is surprisingly limited. Most cat sleep is light, alert. The brain partially engaged with environmental monitoring even during apparent rest. Full REM sleep, the phase required for genuine restoration, occurs only when the nervous system has assessed the environment as sufficiently safe to permit full disengagement. That assessment is not automatic. It is not produced by a comfortable bed or a warm room. It is produced by the presence of a trusted individual. Your cat reaches deeper sleep stages in your presence than in any other condition. Not because you provide physical comfort, but because you provide the neurological signal that makes full disengagement safe. You are not a warm surface your cat chose. You are a security system it trusts. The spot your cat chooses is not arbitrary. Research on feline sleeping behavior documents a consistent pattern. Cats that have formed secure individual bonds with a specific human do not choose sleeping positions based on warmth alone. They choose positions that simultaneously allow proximity to the chosen individual and maintain surveillance of the primary entry points of the sleeping space. The foot of the bed, facing the door. The pillow beside the owner's head, orientation toward the room. The curved position against the owner's legs. Body contact that registers movement without requiring visual monitoring. Each position is a solution to the same problem: how to rest deeply, using the chosen individual's presence as the primary security signal, while maintaining the capacity to respond if the signal changes, if you move suddenly, if your breathing changes. if an unfamiliar sound enters the space. Your cat is not curled up randomly, it is deployed in the optimal position for its function, which is not sleep, which is watch. This did not happen immediately. It was built. The first nights your cat spent near you, the nervous system was still running full vigilance. The sleeping proximity was close but alert. Every sound processed, every movement registered, the ear muscles rotating independently even during apparent rest. Your presence was known but not yet trusted at the level the sleep architecture requires. What changed was accumulation. Every night you were consistently present and consistently non-threatening. Every night the sleep space remained safe. Every night the modified fear pathway received another data point. This individual's presence predicts a stable environment, over weeks, over months. The data accumulated into a calibration. Your presence stopped being a variable the nervous system needed to monitor. It became the baseline against which other variables were measured. Your breathing rhythm at rest became the reference signal for environmental normalcy. Your movement patterns in sleep, which your cat has memorized with the same acoustic precision it uses to recognize your footsteps, became the data against which deviations are detected. A deviation from your pattern is the alarm. Your pattern itself is the silence that permits rest. You became the instrument your cat uses to measure whether the night is safe. This mechanism produces a behavior that every cat owner has noticed and almost none have correctly interpreted. You get up in the night, your cat wakes instantly, not because the movement startled it, but because the security signal was removed. The baseline changed. The nervous system registered the deviation and shifted from delegated vigilance back to active monitoring. Your cat is not waiting for you to return so it can go back to sleep out of habit. It is waiting because the neurological condition that permits deep sleep, your presence, was interrupted. And until that condition is restored, the vigilance system runs at full capacity. This is why your cat often repositions itself the moment you return. It is not seeking warmth. The bed was warm without you. It is re-establishing the security configuration, confirming through multiple sensory channels, your scent, your breathing sound, your body heat signature, your movement pattern, that the chosen individual is back, that the signal has returned, that the system can resume delegated monitoring. That rest is permitted again. Your cat does not sleep with you. It sleeps because of you. There is a difference. And the genome encoded it precisely. The 2019 Oregon State University attachment study documented this mechanism in its behavioral expression. Cats with secure individual attachment to a specific owner showed the secure base effect, using the owner's presence as a signal of environmental safety, exploring and resting more confidently when the owner was present, becoming measurably more alert, and less settled when the owner left. The sleeping behavior is the nightly expression of this exact dynamic. The chosen individual's presence is the secure base. Sleep, genuine, deep, neurologically restorative sleep, is the behavior the secure base enables. Your cat is not attached to your bed. It is attached to the neurological condition your presence creates. And it has learned, across hundreds of nights, that your presence is the most reliable source of that condition available to it. There is a detail about where cats sleep that carries more information than most owners ever extract from it. Cats that sleep touching the owner, against the legs, on the chest, pressed against the back, are in a different neurological configuration than cats that sleep near but not touching. The touching cat is using direct physical contact as a continuous sensory input stream. Every breath, every heartbeat, every micro-movement registered in real time through the points of contact. A cat that sleeps touching you has made the maximum possible commitment to the delegated vigilance arrangement. It has placed its sleeping nervous system in direct physical contact with the individual it trusts to be the primary environmental monitor. It is not cuddling. It is connected. The physical contact is a live data feed, and the cat is monitoring that feed even in sleep, even in the deepest stages of rest, even without conscious awareness. The cat that sleeps near but not touching has made a slightly different calculation. Close enough for the presence signal, far enough for independent movement if the situation requires rapid response, a slightly less committed version of the same arrangement. Same function, different configuration. Both are expressions of the same thing. And both lead to the same question, the one the genome answers definitively. The comfortable explanation is this: your cat sleeps near you because it is warm, because it is a creature of habit, because you are its primary caregiver and proximity to the caregiver is a learned preference. All of these are partially true. None of them is the mechanism. The mechanism is in the genome, and it reveals something about what your cat is doing at night that changes the entire picture. Because your cat is not the one being protected by the sleeping arrangement. You are. Your cat does not sleep near you to feel safe. It sleeps near you to keep you safe. The 98% wild brain that remains entirely intact in the domestic cat carries a complete predatory monitoring architecture, auditory range to 65,000 Hz, vibration detection through the whisker field, UV light perception, infrasound sensitivity below the threshold of human hearing. All of it operational, all of it running, even during sleep. When your cat is sleeping next to you, these systems are not switched off. They are running in low-power monitoring mode, processing the acoustic environment of your bedroom, detecting vibrations through the surface of the bed, sampling the air for chemical changes. And they are calibrated against your baseline, your normal breathing, your normal movement, your normal scent. A deviation from your baseline, a change in breathing that precedes illness, a sound outside the normal pattern of your home, a chemical change in the air, registers as signal. The monitoring mode shifts to alert. The cat responds. Not because it was trained to, because the surveillance architecture was running anyway. And the chosen individual's space is the space it was deployed to monitor. The sleeping arrangement is not mutual comfort. It is a division of labor. You provide the secure base, the neurological signal that permits deep sleep. Your cat provides the surveillance, the sensory monitoring of your shared space that your own biology cannot perform while you sleep. It is watching over you with hardware that makes your own dormant senses look rudimentary. And it has been doing this every night, without your awareness, without any deliberate decision on its part. Because the genome built an animal that, once it has registered a chosen individual, deploys its full monitoring architecture in that individual's space. Every night you slept, it was watching. Every morning you woke safely, it was there. This overturns the entire framing of who is protecting whom in this sleeping arrangement. We assume that we provide safety to our cats, that we are the protectors and they are the protected, that the cat sleeps near us because we represent safety for it. The genome inverts this. Your cat's presence near you is not an expression of its vulnerability. It is an expression of its function. A 98% wild predator, with sensory systems calibrated over millions of years for environmental monitoring, has positioned itself in the optimal location to perform that monitoring. On your behalf, in the space you occupy while your own monitoring systems are offline. You thought it was sleeping next to you. It was on duty. Tonight, when your cat takes its position at the foot of the bed or on the pillow beside you, what is happening is this. A predatory monitoring system, running on hardware your own senses cannot match, is deploying itself in the optimal position to cover your sleeping space. 65,000 Hz of auditory range sweeping the room. Whiskers reading pressure changes in the air. UV sensitivity mapping surfaces you cannot see in the dark. Infrasound processing. Detecting vibrations your body cannot register. All of it running. All of it calibrated against your baseline. All of it ready to shift from monitoring mode to alert mode the moment something in your space deviates from what it has memorized as normal. Not because it was trained. Not because it decided to. Because you are the individual it registered. And the genome built an animal that monitors the space of the individual it registered. Every night. Without exception. While you sleep. You have had a guardian every night. You just didn't know what to call it. What the sleeping arrangement reveals is that the bond between a cat and its chosen human is not a one-directional dependency. It is a functional partnership, with each side providing something the other cannot. You provide the neurological signal that permits deep rest, the secure base, the calibrated presence that tells a 98% wild nervous system, stand down. Your cat provides the surveillance, the sensory coverage of your shared space during the hours when your own monitoring systems are offline. Two organisms, two complementary architectures. One arrangement that neither designed and both depend on. Your cat is sleeping next to you. That image, so familiar, so ordinary, so easy to explain as simple affection, carries something different now. What you thought was a cat seeking comfort turned out to be a predatory monitoring system deploying itself in the optimal position to cover your space. What you thought was mutual warmth turned out to be a functional partnership. Your presence providing the neurological signal that permits its rest, its presence providing the sensory surveillance that covers yours. Neither of you designed this arrangement. The genome built it. Across 9,000 years of two species sleeping near each other, each providing what the other's biology could not. What began as a wildcat choosing to stay near a human settlement turned out to be, across 600 generations of selection, the construction of the only interspecies sleeping arrangement in which a fully equipped wild predator voluntarily deploys its complete sensory architecture in the space of another creature. Every night, for as long as the bond holds. It is not there for comfort. It never was. It is there because you are the individual it registered, because your space is the space it monitors, because while you sleep, while your own senses go offline, something with 65,000 hertz of hearing and a nose 40 times more sensitive than yours and whiskers that read the air like a map is watching. It has been watching every night. It will watch tonight.